What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Killzone website being shut down and what this means going forward. So obviously, this happened over the weekend. This happened on Saturday. I was asked to talk about it, and then like everybody under the sun saw it. Everybody under the sun talked about it. There's a lot of news, by the way, that's happened over this past weekend that I'm going to be getting to in videos probably tomorrow, both on this channel and the second channel. So make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon, turn on, all that good stuff. If you guys want to join the Discord community we have, I'll leave a link for it in the description below. Would love to have you guys over there, and let's just jump right into this video. So pretty much it boils down to, if you go to what used to be the official Killzone website, okay, I think like Killzone.com, it'll now redirect you to PlayStation, and it says like the site's, it no longer happening, okay? And it's something that sucks, and it's something that you do have to pay attention to, because remember, one of the interesting things, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe over the summer, the infamous domain ended up expiring, and they had to make a decision whether or not to keep it going, and they did. So if you go on Infamous, I believe the infamous domain still exists, and the question is, for that, it's like, okay, well, why did they allow, why did they actually do that? Why didn't they just allow it to go away, right? And what that probably means is there's going to be more Infamous things coming. You could argue Infamous is a bigger franchise than Killzone, and I may give it to you, although Killzone has always, remember, surprisingly done really well. Now, I say surprisingly in a way that I respect Killzone. I do enjoy the Killzone game. I think Killzone 2 is actually an insanely good game, but I mean, well, maybe it's kind of like a grudge match because I love Resistance, and remember back in the day, Resistance was always like, just nobody even knew what that game was. Nobody played that game. Everybody played Killzone instead, and the rest is kind of history, right? So you could argue that Infamous maybe was the bigger game. Maybe that was the reason why it was kept around. We've talked about this even in past videos. I do think a remaster, some sort of collection for Infamous makes sense, but here's the deal. It makes sense for Killzone too. It really does. And Killzone, I mean, as you guys know, it's been around even longer, right? I don't even remember when the first Killzone game came out, but these Killzone games are very old. It's been out for a very, very long time, and I think a remake would be really nice, especially probably for at least 1 and 2. I don't know if 3 and Shadowfall needs it, but definitely 1, 2, maybe you could get away with some sort of a remaster, but I would like to see these games. And this is another example, by the way, of games that are separated. They're not all on the same console. There's no way of playing. Now, of course, you have PlayStation Now, you have this game, you have that game. There's ways you can figure out where you can own them all, but there's no way where you can say, okay, I want to buy the Killzone collection, the series of 4 games, and I want to play them from there. And I think there is honestly like immense value in that, okay? So that's a little disappointing. In fact, I was even considering making a video talking about Killzone in general. I don't think Killzone is coming back in the near future, okay? I do think it'll come back eventually. I just think, sadly, and we've talked about this before, Infamous, Sly Cooper, like even like a PlayStation All-Stars or Jack and Daxter. These are games that Sony just forgets about for whatever reason that they may be doing, right? And they don't bring them back, and it sucks. You want them to make new games, you want them to move on and create new experiences, but they have so many IPs of just all over the place, and they just leave them instead of doing something with them. So it kind of sucks to see. In Killzone, I never really included, I would say, again, like an Infamous and a Sly Cooper are two of the most glaring ones. Now, Sly has been gone for and Resistance. I forgot Resistance. Resistance is a massive one. Sly's been gone for a pretty long time, but not overly long. You look at games like Infamous, that game is not as long because of Infamous Second Son. You look at Resistance has been gone for quite a while. I think the third game was 2011. So Killzone, I never really considered that because you had Shadowfall, and we always kind of just assumed there'd be a new game coming from them. There would be a Killzone, but let me say this, to do the second half of this video, or at least the second part to it, is there were a lot of rumors. I've seen this floating around online. Remember, it seems like Guerrilla Games is a 2-studio team. Okay, so they are working on 2 games at the same time, Horizon Forbidden West and something else. Now, a couple years ago, I want to say like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, the rumor was they were making a Killzone multiplayer-only experience. And the rumor was even that maybe it could launch for the PS5. Okay, now that was a long time ago. Obviously, a lot of that has proven to not be true. But it seems like, and once this Killzone website thing happened, you saw it online, or maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but there was a lot of people talking about, hey, don't forget, they do have another team. They have people that worked on multiplayer experiences, that's kind of their speciality, right? And that they are leading this team. And so a lot of people are going towards Socom. You may have seen Socom be floating around the internet. I've seen it too, okay? So I do agree that there probably is a second game from Guerrilla. I do agree that it's probably a shooter game. I do agree it's probably a multiplayer shooter game. And I'm not saying it has to be Socom, or 1000% for sure it is, but definitely, it's gotten, there's less other options. You know what I mean? Killzone would have been a really good one. And remember, the rumor with Killzone was it was going to be a multiplayer only, like a factions only Killzone game, which sounded weird at the time because Killzone, yeah, you may play it for multiplayer. I know I did. I played it for the multiplayer, but I also did play it for I did the story first. I played the story first, I experienced the story, and then I went into the multiplayer. So it's kind of a game that's for both. All right, so to hear a rumor that it was only going to be a multiplayer game did sound kind of odd, but if we take what we know now into consideration, I really just don't think there's going to be a Killzone game for the next 3 to 5 years. And then if it still is a game, though, that's coming out that is a shooter, that is a multiplayer game, well, they were close, I guess. It could be a multiplayer shooter-only game, but it's not Killzone. It could be Socom, it could be something else. But I think they were kind of on, whatever those leaks were, I do think it's kind of an example where, yeah, they were wrong, but you know what? They were honestly, I think, onto something. So, kind of a dark day. I'm actually quite disappointed because I did respect Killzone. Shadowfall was nothing like spectacular. It was definitely more of like a tech demo just to show what the PS4 could do, which, by the way, at the time was absolutely insane, and it still holds up. I would say it held up years and years and years after the game came out. So I enjoyed Shadowfall. It was, besides Killzone 2, I did play 3, but Killzone 2 was like one that I really, really got into. I respect them. I don't think they're the greatest games of all time. I like Resistance more, but I think, now if you think about it, unless they really do have a Socom or just a shooter thing, Sony has no exclusive franchise that's like that. Remember, I mean, they used to be like, yeah, Killzone and Resistance weren't Halo, but they were, a shooting genre kind of game that Sony had, and both of them were pretty different, which was actually kind of cool, right? And they had that, and that was like part of their arsenal, and now they don't. Now that they have a lot of open world stuff, right? A lot of like RPG kind of going down that path, and they're kind of forgetting about the other stuff, basically. Okay, so interesting to say the least. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think that Killzone's done for good? Do you think it'll come back one day? What do you think Guerrilla is working on with that second team? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Again, if you guys want to join our Discord server, link for that is in the description below. Would love to have you guys over there. Again, I'll be talking about all of the other stuff. There was stuff on Naughty Dog. There was stuff on Sucker Punch. There was a lot of news that came out over the weekend, so I'm going to try and get to as much of that as possible over the next couple days, okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.